Hello? Oh my goodness, is it finally working? Is it working? Okay. Hello. I have no clue what happened. Something. That's all I know. And this right here is gonna be just an and symbol. These are all gonna be parameters of numbers. So we can just go ahead and do this. And this is also a number. And this is also a number. Okay, cool. I think we have it. If we just export this, we can now use it as if we were using noise. Okay, let's just say lit gen equals to a new simple noise 1D. And we got an error. New. Whoops. Don't know why I did new. It's just a function. Then we can say gen.getVal of like something like 10. And I'm just going to copy and paste this to a console.log. Here we go. Let's see this in action. There we go. I think it's working. If I just move this over to my other monitor real quick, and I change this to 1, and then save. Yes! We have noise. Okay, this is cool. We have something. It's time for us to use this. How are we gonna use this is the question. There was this great tutorial by Duff Fluffy Potato for making Terraria-like world generation using noise. And I guess we're just gonna use this then. Okay, so I'm going to leave a reference to him in here. Generation from Fluffy Potato. Here we go. Basically, let's have a function private generate chunk, because we are going to use chunking data, and this is going to return an array list. So I don't exactly know what type it's going to be. I think it's a number. I'm just going to say tiles.tile type array. So we can say let chunk data equals to tiles.tile type array. Or actually, it's just going to be array with that type. And we can just return chunk data so that we can get rid of that error. Cool. Now we can have our Y position. Now, our chunk. Okay, so we're gonna say math.round. We're gonna round the nearest number to our inner width divided by tiles.tile.tile size. And then this is going to be y++. That's not actually going to be that. That's the wrong one. This is just gonna be the world size, world.world size dot height. And actually, no, it's not. But I'll do that soon. Inner width. So it's just gonna display what we have, what we can see on the screen. So let's console.log this data. X and then Y. Oh, we're not even calling the generate chunk. Okay. Here we go. 0. Okay. This is very laggy. Is that done? Oh, jeez. Okay. So these are all of the tiles that are on the screen. Now that's a lot. That's 8 by 8 tiles. And I don't even think this is done. Oh, no, it has to be done. It has to be done. Okay, I think it is. So it did this 116 times. That's gonna be extremely laggy, so I may bump up how much it can render. Or, no, not how much it can render, sorry. Bump up the tile size, because that's outrageous. That's a lot. So I guess we can just go ahead and give this an X pause and a Y pause. Actually, we'll just say X and Y. X number, Y is also a number. And this is just going to say, what chunk do we want to render? And we want to render the first chunk. So 0, 0. And this is going to return chunk data. So now we need to call this Y pause along with X pause. So we need to put pause in front of all of these. Okay, cool. Now to get the target, so let target X, and that's going to equal to the chunk's position X times by the chunk size. Now since the chunk size is not the same for each of them, we're gonna have to use this again. So we'll just make this variable up here. So let chunk size equal to a new size 2. Just so that we can use these again. So we'll say chunk size dot height, and then we'll say chunk size dot width. There we go. Chunk size dot width, and then we'll add on the current X position. Now for the target Y, we'll say Y times the chunk size. I just realized I'm spelling that wrong. I don't know why I keep doing a CK. It's a habit of mine for some reason. Okay, so chunk size dot height plus the Y pause. Now we'll have our tile type, which is going to equal to tiles.tiletype.none. And then we can do our generation stuff, such as if target Y is equal to 1, or actually, if our target Y is equal to 10, I guess, just a test. And our tile type is going to equal to the tile type of grass. Now, we'll check if the tile type does not equal to this none here. That means that we can append it to our chunk data. Chunk data.push, and we're going to put in the target X and the target Y, followed by a tile type. So this is basically an array with a, so we can just say tile data or something. So in tiles, and we'll just say public pos vector2 public type tile.tile, or just tile type. Now we need to default these. Okay, cool. So that's basically going to act as a struct. So we can define it up here. Let tile now we can say tile.pos equals new vector2 target X and target Y, and then the tile type equals to our tile type that we did here. Okay, that right there is going to give us that's going to give us our tile data, the data that we need for this is the data that we need to get our tile. So to render it, we're going to have a public void. So public render void and to generate the chunk, actually we haven't even gotten a single tile rendering, so I don't know why I'm moving on to world gen. Also, I have this great inside of Java, where is it? Java, is it this one? I think it is game. Oh, let me check my resources, textures, player, walking. Okay, it is. So, I have some pretty good code in here. Somewhere, I think it's in rooms. Room. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna use that code instead. So this just generates all of that we need. But we're going to get some other things for now. For now, we're just gonna do let's get a tile rendering to the screen. To do that, all we'll do is inside of world, actually, we'll say this dot underscore world, and let's put it as 0, 0 equals to tiles dot tile type of grass. Actually, should it be of tile types or a list of tiles? I think it should be a list of tiles. Yeah, it's gonna be a list of tiles. So instead of tile types, oops. Don't need the tile data anymore. Actually, we'll keep it there in case. So, tile.tiles. We'll just set it to null there. And when we initialize it, we'll just say new tiles.tile. This is going to ask for a position, which I think we should declare depending on the thing. I'm just going to say new vector 2 for now. We'll do this later on, but we'll just go, we'll put it at 0, 0. And then we're going to need a texture, so we'll say texture dot load, and from data slash textures slash block, or tiles I should say, we're going to grab some pretty cool artwork. So start. So my friend made some art, just a couple, 2 or 3, was it 3 textures? No, 4 textures for this. So let's just create tiles, and let me go into Discord. I need to download them. I'm only gonna download 3 of them though. One of them was just a sneak peek. Jeez, okay, I need to actually go to a directory now. Okay, I forgot to add the dot there. Okay, here we go. We got 3 different types of dirt. Or grass, I should say. Grass 1. And these are going to be picked at random. So it's just going to be a randomly picked thing. It's not going to be anything in particular. Hold on. Okay. Let's go ahead and load these. Actually, I don't know if I'm gonna... Okay, I have a better idea. Inside of tiles, instead of having a number, we're actually going to do tiles themselves. So, position is going to be public, but it's not going to be necessary. So texture.load, and we can take in either an HTML image or an HTML image element a list. So then we can then see if this dot, say if array.isArray, this dot texture, this is kind of difficult because I know this idea will work for items, but maybe not blocks. Okay, you know what, I'll just redo this. Let's just go back to the one texture thing. No, but I do want that there. Actually, we'll just like make them public static grass type of tile. And I'll set it to a new tile type. And we'll just say pause isn't necessary. So we'll just say add texture dot load, and let's load from dot slash data slash textures slash tiles slash grass1. Possibly undefined. We'll just give it a pause to render at when we're rendering it. I think that would be a better idea. Yeah, it looks much cleaner as well. Okay. Now I don't think we need to type. We have this, and now we can say tiles.tile.grass. Okay, and we got the final image as well. The last one. It's grass 4, and it is, it's green. It's green grass. Jeez, okay. I love that. Green grass. So, when we are generating the world, we'll just randomly pick one. I know that seems kind of dumb and idiotic, but, you know. It's me. I mean, of course it's gonna be dumb and idiotic. Can I change this to just like... What is the aspect ratio here? If I took away 1 from this, this would need to go down by 1 as well. So that would just be 200 by 3,200. Which just doesn't seem right. Maybe I don't know. Aspect ratio. Okay, so if that's what it looks like, then I think I just might minus 800 from it. So this would be 6. No. I want this to be 600. Which means this would be 3,400. Wait. That's not how that math works. That is 800. What? No, it is minus 600. Yeah, no, I was right. Okay. And this would be 3,600. Okay. Let's do that. 3,600 by 600. Not that that's any better, but you know, it's worth a shot. I love how I'm trying to make world generation and I don't even have a player. Why do I do these things? Okay. Entities. If I'm gonna make an entity, then I'm also gonna need input. So I just call it input. But yes. I was just asked the dumbest question. What have I made so far? I am sorry for not reading that. Not that much. I've legit made, like, basically nothing. I haven't even... Didn't even make a class. Public constructor. I guess we're gonna need the canvas. So we'll say this. Oh, we don't need to say anything in there actually. Actually, we do need to initialize it. So we'll say like private underscore keys, a number array for our key codes. And then since we need mouse as well, so mouse. I guess we could just say buttons. Is also a number array, which I'm basically just gonna copy from my game library that I made. Hey! Sorry, I just got artwork from the artist that's making all of this art. And he just made some pretty nice looking characters. I'm just going to say characters. Character 1, 2, and I also believe this is going to play into its walk animation. This is also meant to be character 1. Yes. No, this needs to be character 2. And this is character 1. There we go. Oh, that's a reference. That's a reference to our old game that we were gonna make, but it never really worked out. Sorry about that, by the way. Yeah, it's an idle animation, he said. What was I doing again? Let's go ahead and basically copy my game library real quick. SRC input. You know what, screw it, I'm literally just gonna copy and paste from my game library. And we're gonna change this from default to that. And I don't know why we need game. To omit the events. Okay, well that's not necessary anymore. Time to add in a couple of extras. So that comes from key code. We have an enum that I'm gonna export. There we go, that's one of them fixed. The next one that I need to do is the mouse, which I believe just has the interface for mouse. And then finally the mouse codes, which is literally just left, right, and scroll. I should probably rename to middle. That would make more sense. But we still have one error. Where is it coming from? I forgot to get rid of that when I was doing. Okay, there we go. Input is done. Input is done. Let's get the player. Let's do the player. Yes. Player. Public constructor. I am so totally not like doing my to-do list. I should probably update it. Render textures. We've got that done. Thankfully. It is time to say player. And I believe it's just the movement that I gotta do. So we'll say movement and collisions. Oh, I already have those two down here. Doesn't matter. What really matters is that we've rendered textures, yay. Let's also update it to say, also what happened to the music? Where did it go? Here, let's change it for you guys. Ooh, I might use this one from now on. Oh, that's nice. Anyway, so we're gonna need, I'm gonna say tiles, and then I'm gonna say camera, and inside of the camera, we want, dynamic rendering. And by that, I mean render what we can see. Which, also the camera should be pretty easy to do. I guess we can put it in graphics. Camera.ts. Namespace. Namespace. Terraria dot. No, Terraria is good. Export class camera. That is not how you spell camera. Camera. Okay, cool. Now a public constructor is going to be required, and I'm gonna go over to my code for my game, my Java game. Java, there, and then it's in this folder. GFX and camera, here we go. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll need, I think all we really need is a private X offset and then the same for a Y offset. Which these are going to take in X, Y. Actually, in that case, we can keep these privates here. We can just get rid of that. There we go. Now we can have a function to check the blank space. Blank space. It'll be a return type of void. If X offset less than 0, then the X offset equals to 0. Okay. Otherwise, and we should probably take in an engine for this, so private engine, and this is gonna, or else if rather, X offset is greater than this.engine.get world .get width. Well, actually, it's just going to be width. So we should probably do that. Or it's actually world size. Actually, because this is static, all we need to do is say world or generation.world or world size dot width times by tiles.tile.tile size minus by the inner width. Now that is a long line of code. Okay, and then we'll just set it to that. So no longer need this engine variable. Bye bye. Okay, the same goes for our Y offset. Okay, that's gonna check for blank space and set it to not go outside of that blank space. Next one, public enter on entity, or E being the type of entities, or entity, which we should create. Which I'm actually just going to rename this to entities. Entities. Export class. Entity. Okay, now we need to establish what an entity is. So an entity is anything that is not a tile, basically. So an item is an entity. Yeah, an item's not an entity. This cannot be found. Why not? Where are you trying to find this anyway? Am I even saying... Wait, is it because... Okay, hold on, let me save that. World... No, sorry. Where is it? Tiles, yeah. Yes, I'm not saying .png. Okay, maybe it's that. Okay, nothing's rendering. Cool. I'm doing like 6 things at once. I'm so sorry. Okay, let me just close out of a bunch of these things so I don't get too much stress on me. Let's not worry about worlds or inputs. Let's only worry about the entity. So an entity has... It doesn't have health. So... I guess it's just anything, really. We'll create an entity manager and all that later. So, wait, hold on. Protected. Okay, yes, protected is a keyword. So we can say protected X. Or actually, pos, rather. Which is going to be a vector2 type. And then a rect. Going to be the bounds for the entity, because everything is going to have a bounds. And then the size. Public constructor. Okay. Now this dot bounds is going to equal to a new rect, passing in pos and size. And then we'll also set the pos to be the pos, and then also same with the size. Okay, cool. That's all we need to do in the constructor. Get collision bounds. Actually, that's not necessary, is it? At least right now. All that's necessary is to have a public abstract pick method and a public abstract render method. And I don't know whether or not we're going to create the creature as a thing as well. Which actually, maybe we should. Because it has a bunch of code that would probably be good. Also, where is it? Where is it? World. Tiles. Active. Let's change active to be solid. Okay, cool. Let's see. Okay, I guess we're gonna just create export abstract class feature. And this is going to extend off entity. And we can just do this, and then we can say call super, which is going to require pause and size. Now, since everything that is going to be an entity or any enemy is going to extend off creature, we're going to have a health, which we're going to set to. We'll set it to 100. That's how much health you have default in Terraria. Set speed also to be creature.default speed. And then we're going to have these variables called move. It's going to equal to a new vector2. And we'll just set those to 0. Okay. We'll create a protected health variable. We'll create a protected speed variable. And then a protected move vector. Now I'll have some public static is, I don't know if finals, I guess read only would be it. We'll say, we'll have some default health. Oh my gosh, I need to pronounce my letters. Jeez. So the default health is going to be 100. Default speed, which is just going to be the player speed. I don't actually know what the default speed in Terraria is. Hello, Michi. I'm not really reading chat, I'm sorry. Probably should be. Yeah. What is the speed? What is the default speed of Terraria character? .36 blocks per second. Yeah, but I don't know how fast that is. Oh. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, well, so it turns out that the tiles aren't 8 by 8, they're 16 by 16, which would make so much more sense. Because, oh, that makes so much more sense. So in tiles, how many tiles you can jump without anything is roughly about 6.27. Okay. Let's just continue on with our entity. Or our creature, sorry. Let's set the default speed to like, let's just say 3. Okay, let's set the size to... Let's set the creature size to be something like... Let's just go 8 by 8, you know? Actually, no, we'll go 16 by 16, so one tile in Terraria. Okay, now we'll have public move function. Oh, this isn't gonna return anything. I don't know why I did that. Oh, what are we gonna call this? Actually, we can call this the move Vic or Victor instead of having to override this. Actually, just gonna move X and move Y. No, not move by, move Y. Where's the move by? What? Move by? Huh? I have no clue. Anyway, these need to be this dots. Means we need public move X and public move Y. Now this is going to be useful for handling collisions. So we're going to take that, and then we're going to predicted collision with tile, and it's actually going to return a boolean. This is going to return e.get world. Actually, we'll just say e.world dot get tile xy dot solid x number, y number. So inside of our world, we're going to have a function called getTile. Okay, so this is just gonna return nothing if we don't have a tile in that position. Otherwise, we're gonna have a tile type tile.tiles. Actually, no, tile.tile.tiles. Which means we need to go into tiles again, and we need to create a public static tiles tile array. And whenever we create it, we'll just say tile.tiles lowercase. Tiles. And how would this work? So every tile is going to be, it's going to have an ID. Yes, so that still stands. We're going to put that ID, and then we're going to say this. Okay, now we can say tile.tiles. Underscore world YX. So this is gonna once again now be a number array. Okay, cool. Because now I can say just 0. Well, actually 1, because it's gonna be thing. Cannot find name tile. Tiles.tile. But if t is equal to null, then we're just gonna return null. Actually, that doesn't really matter, so we'll just return t anyway. There we go. So now that should not be a problem for our entities. Yep, that checks the collision with it. And that's all we need for that. And I guess we can just do... should we do move X and Y now? How long have we been streaming? An hour. Okay, cannot find properties of undefined. What do you mean? Oh, this needs to be a new array. Array length. Let's just set it to 256 for now. So say array with the type of tiles that tile. Okay, what about now? You happy with that? Or is it console? Seriously? Cannot set properties of undefined. Oh, is that what happened? Okay. I don't know why that doesn't work though, because it should. Also, world is not a constructor for some reason. Generator.world is not a constructor. Once again, yeah it is. What is going on today? My brain just can't wrap around this. Okay, hold on. Console. This one I am trying to fix. Wait, what? At 5? Going back to here, yep, I know that. Why did I replace this? I can't really replace the keyword this. It has to be... Okay, then what's another way we can do this? Instead of saying this, we could... But it has to be an array of tiles. How about we say... public create tile actually we can say public static, and then we can say this tiles, and then this dot id. No, we can't. We'll say create tile with an id. We'll set that equal to a tile. So in theory, if we just... it's basically gonna do the same thing. Okay, yeah, no, it still didn't work. I wasn't expecting it to work, actually. Wait a minute. Why are we... Wait, why are we doing it as an array? Why can't we just do it as a map? And have a number, and followed by tiles.tile, or just tile, really. Is map not a thing yet? What? Yeah, let me change this to like, yes, 2020. There's no way map. Okay, no, it is a thing. Okay, good. This dot tiles dot set ID tile. Why are we still getting an error? Cannot. Cannot read properties of undefined reading set. Huh. Console.log ID file. It's a map. Yes. Why am I looking at React? Yeah, we'll just like export this as a var. Export var tile. Instead of saying this.tiles. That's not gonna fix anything. Why did that fix it? I'm a genius. I'm a genius. I did it. I did it. That means I need to change this. Yes, I do. Just tiles.tile. And we need to take this. And we need to say dot get. There we go. Why is this? Past it. Probably not the best idea. But you know, it's all for the best. Let's just carry on with this, I guess. Move X and move Y. Okay, let's start off with move X. If move vector dot X is greater than 0, let tx equals 2 type of a number. This is going to be x plus move.x plus the bounds.pos.x and then add not equals and then add that onto the size.width. And then we'll divide that by tile size. Cool. Now we'll see if not this dot collision with tile at tx and then y plus this dot pos dot y plus this dot bounds dot pos dot y divided by tile size, and then we're gonna do an and not this dot collision with tile tx, and then it's going to be basically the same thing, but we're going to also add the height. And we'll just say this dot pos dot x plus equals this dot move vec dot x. Otherwise we'll set x equal to the tx variable, or sorry, this dot pos dot x. We're going to set it to the tx variable times by our tile size minus by our bounds' size actually minus by our bounds' pos x minus by the size and the width minus 1. It's a long line of code. And now it's time for the else if of this. And that's going to be for the y. Actually, nope, still x. It's going to be flipped though. Now this is a much simpler one. All this is the move x plus the bounds x. And that is all correct. So is that. This one's also correct, and then we'll just take away the width minus the 1. And that is our move x. Time to do it for our move y, so that we're going to change all of these x's in here to y's. Now there are a lot of x's and widths that we need to change to heights. I'm just going to go through all of this one line at a time. Also, we should probably rename this to TY. Oh, yeah, no, that's definitely that's exactly what I need to do.